Hey, good morning, Simpson Elementary. Hope you're still wearing your mask. I'm still wearing my mask, but today I get to take it off because I'm doing a new video for you. Today's lesson, you'll look at my board. It says texture. So what is texture? Texture is how something feels. Okay, so if you have a piece of paper, write that down. Texture. How something feels. Or in the case of a picture, it's how something looks like it feels. Okay? So I'm going to come back to this picture in just a few minutes. But I want to give you some examples of objects and how they feel. What kind of object is this? That's a marker. It's hard when I feel it, but it's also very smooth on the outside. Okay? This paint cake. Yes, that's a paint cake. It's very hard and dense. It's kind of heavy. But the outside of it is, it's kind of rough. Not quite like sandpaper, but it's still somewhat rough. Okay? Now, here's a paper plate. We used these last week to put paint on the plate. Okay, here's an example of the paint. Of course, this one is smooth. This one is kind of rough in spaces. Okay, now this is dried paint. Uh-oh, well, I thought it was dry. Parts of it are still wet. So the dry paint feels a lot different than the wet paint. Okay? Now, what's this? It's a piece of wood. Came off my easel that's standing over in the corner. All right, smooth on the outside. Hard. Of course, the metal is rough and rigid. Okay? And last, paper towel. All right, paper towel's sort of smooth unless it's got paint on it. And then it's a different texture to it. Okay? So what I want you to do today is get a piece of paper. And I'm going to slide over here and get a piece of my paper before we start. And we're going to talk about this piece of art right here. It's a drawing of what? Yes, a barn. Okay, can you see that? Of course, some clouds over the barn. But if you look really close, there's lots of lines. Okay, remember the first lesson we had? We talked about lines. Well, here's a great example of a line drawing with simple pen, actually. And you can do this using pencil. Okay? And in this drawing, you have diagonal lines, you have horizontal lines, and of course you have some vertical lines. These lines down here that represent the grass are called crosshatch. And I'll show you how to do that in just a few minutes. And then, of course, there are lots of lines that are really close together. That helps us notice that there are shadows. You see how we got this? Now, the lines help show texture in the building. because as we know, if it's made out of wood or metal, it can be quite rough. I know some of you have farms and you go into barns, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, and then of course there's trees over here in the background. Here's one here, some trees. Now, in order to show the clouds, all the artist did was do horizontal lines, and they stopped so that it looked like it was in a shape of a cloud. It's a pretty cool technique to show texture. Okay, so if you're going to do texture using lines like this, we'll do the barn roof. How about that? All the artists did is they took their lines and they put them really close together, like this. Now it takes time. If they touch, it's okay. It's okay if they touch, because what we're trying to do is show texture. All right? I like to say that texture makes something look real. Right? Now that's how the roof would look. Now down at the bottom, the artist used cross-hatching, where the lines look like a checkerboard. It's very simple. They go in one direction, they cut across in another direction. All right? Now I'm going to draw this barn like you saw. I'm just going to draw part of the barn, then I'm going to show it to you. Let me see here. All right. There's an A-frame. That's the start of the roof. All right, there's the next part. And then part of the roof that goes this way. Now these are parallel lines and a horizontal. All right. There we go. Now, in this particular doorway, I'm going to color it in nice and solid because it looks like it's dark inside the barn. It's very simple. All right. So there's the outline of the barn, and now all you have to do is just add lines. These will be diagonal. These will be, down here will be vertical. There might be a few that are horizontal. All right, and then for clouds, it's really simple. All you have to do is do some puffy clouds over the barn. They can come in like this. It's not hard to do. Okay, and then whatever you want to add down next to the barn. If you want to add some trees, okay, you could do it just a simple line drawing with pencil, paper. If you want to use pen, that's fine. I'm using a marker. And all you're going to do is add lines. It's a fun little activity to do. Enjoy it.